in or however you want to connect in the next virtual step.
Yeah, I love it. All right. 10:03, let's get rocking and rolling. So just so everybody can get as much out of this as possible. I know that some of you have to jump. I know that some of you have other schedules that, you know, we all can't control, but I want to get through the meaty middle of this right up front. And that is exactly why Shannon's on this call. And I'm really, really grateful for you, number one, to be here and share some time. But two, there's a lot of things that we need to address. Let's just call it that right now. So without further ado, what we're going to do is jump into everybody's favorite part of the day, is watching me try and turn this into a slideshow. Here we are. So here's phase 2. You guys have seen some emails from Tom, from the rest of the leadership team about phase 2, which is another tempered step in our reopening process. So here's what it is. You can see it on the screen. I understand that, but I just want to drive home some of the main points of this right now. While that's a lot of reading, and you can feel free to read along while I talk, here's the main points. The office is not off limits, never has been off limits for anybody except for clients and the general public up until now, which goes into effect on Sunday. So you can come back to the office as much as you need, but please remember that social distancing guidelines are still in effect, including and not limited to your other agents, your ASCs, your broker, whomever that might be. Social distancing is still social distancing because that's what the CDC requires us to practice, because it's a good idea. You don't have to wear a mask, although it's a pretty good idea, except when meeting with clients, which you'll need to do. Each office has a non-contact thermometer to do temperature checks on everyone. Now, what that means is it's not just you, it's the clients that you're bringing in, but it's also you. Not personal, but this is how we're trying to protect the public and protect ourselves and each other. Your safety comes first. Number one, point blank, period. Clients are welcome to come by the office now, but they also have to wear a mask when they're there. We have a supply of disposable masks. You'll also need to wear a mask while meeting with a client. Each office will have a designated conference room for us in terms of Augusta Road. Both of the conference rooms are going to be available, but you need to schedule them with me and Jennifer both, so we can make sure that cleaning happens before and after said meetings. We do have the disinfecting supplies at the office, and you can clean them yourselves, or we'll take care of it. Also, to keep things under wraps, we want to make sure that we're being as consistent as possible. Don't allow clients in your personal offices. We all know that there's 4 cubes there. The cubes, let's try and keep them out of your personal space. Let's try and keep them away from your personal file cabinet for everybody. Let's try, although I think that it would be a good idea to utilize the seating areas that we have, let's try and keep them in those conference rooms just so we can control and be consistent. Stick with those designated rooms. I know it's a nice idea, but Shannon,
I'm just going to jump in real quick. You got, and you know, everybody knows this is not my typical job. I'm happy to help out in this way because I had the time to be able to kind of devote to this and be the project manager on it. It's way more information than I ever wanted to know about this topic. My brain is on overload. But doing some walkthroughs of the offices, Augusta Road's in really good shape as far as like the way it's set up. It's all about containment, y'all. And this is a short-term situation. We know COVID's not going away, but we're not expecting this phase to be in place forever, obviously. So if you keep everybody, you know, from the kitchen to the front door, I mean, you guys have a great space where you can keep the door open. They recommend all that kind of stuff, which it was when I came in that day. But it's all about, if you find out that client had tested positive, we don't have to shut the office down for 7 days. It needs to be cleaned and then no one in it for 7 days. So just think about that when it may seem inconvenient, but everybody will be kicked out of the office basically for 7 days. while it's being decontaminated. So that's what that is all about. You guys have very limited, I mean, you know, North Pleasantburg has 16 coffee stations, and you guys have one little area where it's not going to be hard to clean up behind yourself. Just if you're using the coffee machine, or any of those shared equipment pieces, just wash it off, you know, use the cleaner to wash it. I mean, to disinfect it after you use it. And the other thing I was just going to say, oh, what you were saying about the mask and the clients coming in the office, just really be aware. I heard, it came to my attention earlier this week that one of our agents lost a listing because he showed up and got out of his car and he didn't have his mask on, and that client just really was not appreciative of that. He had masks, but just be aware that not everybody is you know, reacting the same way to this. So it's just a simple question in that confirmation email that maybe you're sending, or conversation, that before you see them, what they're comfortable with. It will help eliminate some problems. And that's going to be a conversation you're going to have with the open house seller as well. You want to skip to that, Richard?
Yeah, let me go here because I didn't stick it in.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do now is share a different screen. So you guys can see this as well. So here's what we got here for phase 2 open house guidelines. You guys can see this here. So, I mean, just easily enough, you can see here under the announcements on the hub, here are the new open house safety guidelines and procedures. Shannon, do you want to touch on this first, or?
You can.
Okay. So essentially what you got, and there's all the bullet points are here, and you can refer back to this on the hub whenever you want to. And I know that Angela's on this call, and she's got open house this weekend. So, and I've got your kits as well. They will be at the office as soon as we get off this call. So agents only allow one party of up to 3 persons in the home at a time. The agent should prep the home by turning on all lights, opening doors, cabinets, etc., to avoid the visitors having to touch anything in the home. This is something that if you're good at having an open house, this stuff is already done, but bear with me here. In order to control access, we're getting corrugated plastic yard signs that will instruct the visitor to call or text the agent inside. So that's a sign that we're going to stick in the front yard. Once you drive up, here we go, text me, and then you can come in. The agent can then either call or text the visitor when it's their turn. One member of each group needs to register using the Spacio app. This is a blessing in disguise. Just take this for what it's worth. You can sign in with the QR code on your phone, but this is a blessing in disguise now for a health and safety reason, but also too, you can actually capture the people's information right now because it's required to do so, because if there is ever any safety need that arises going forward, we can then revert back to that. But it's also an opportunity for you to stay in touch with those folks and thank them. Thank you. I know that was different, but this is the world that we live in right now. I appreciate you coming by. The health and safety open house procedures job aid is that's use that in your own time, just for the sake of us not being here for 2 hours. That's on how to access the Spacio app. Agents should, read should, not must. Obviously, this is a thing that has to be done out with the seller from the get-go. Now, you've got all visitors should use hand sanitizer and wear a mask during their visit as well. That's the issue of, if the seller is okay with it and you've got the situation where somebody comes up to the house and says, I ain't wearing a mask, no thanks. And at that point in time, you should have already had exhaustively that conversation with said seller that is willing to host the open house as to whether or not they're going to say, okay, use hand sanitizer, come in without the mask, or no thanks, go home, because I'm not letting you in. Just exactly like Shannon's situation that she shared about the agent going on to a listing presentation. It's the exact same thing for us. We got to be open, honest, and communicative right now. So again, I'm going to double back on this open house kit. There's 30 masks, 6 pairs of gloves, and a pump bottle of liquid hand sanitizer. I would show it to you, but it's in my car for Angela's kit. But they're $10 a kit. Order them. There's that link right here that you're seeing, and they'll be sent to your office. But again, the last point is what I've already touched on. Please, please, please just discuss with the seller exactly what they want to do in the event of X, Y, or Z happening during an open house. So,
and I'll just say that those signs, you can print your phone number and tape it in that area. Once those,
Yep.
those are supposed to be in today, so we'll get them out to the offices. I'm going to try it with the dry erase marker and see if that works. And if that does, we'll let you guys know that that's safe to use. They'll be checked in and out with Jennifer or Richard, whoever is in charge of that. We'll just say too, all these safety precautions are because we love y'all and we want everybody to be safe. But also, we are promoting this to the public. It is a consumer confidence booster that everyone in the upstate is going to know it's safe to do business with CD and Joyner. As of right now, no other real estate companies are doing this. And so our clients are going to be coming to these open houses and coming into the offices expecting these procedures or protocols to be put in place. So, I just want to make sure everybody knows that that is out in the public. We're promoting it big time, and it shouldn't be, I don't expect you to have to do a lot of convincing with the people coming to your open houses. It should be pretty well communicated by the time they get there. One other thing I just want to point out is if you find out that a client tested positive, or you have, or someone in your household, your very first call to set in place the next steps is to Richard. He will have we've been working with a third party environmental group that has worked, like, I have been holding their feet to the fire like crazy because we knew we need to get you guys out there in full force again. And they have a whole procedure book for us, and so every office will have that, and he will know exactly what to do. So he is just your first call the minute, and he'll have a questionnaire that he'll go through with you at the time of that reporting, and he'll let you know what to do at that point. But just, immediately, time is of the essence of any notification like that. So does anybody have any questions about any of that? Most of y'all are doing a lot of this stuff anyway. It's really to just make sure we're all on the same page.
100%. And I'll just pile on top of that, Shannon, that even to this is for us to get the message out there that we are making we're doing everything within our power to help protect the public, which is literally the oath that we take when we sign on to be real estate professionals. And if you are so inclined, I would recommend that everybody go look at either the company's Facebook page or company's Instagram page and share the video that was placed about your safety comes first, just to be top of mind, to create a little bit more awareness, and just to be that person that's the voice of reason right now, and to say, hey, listen, we're in this together, but we're also taking every possible step to help keep not you, but us and everybody else safe during this time.
Stephanie shared a PDF that you can share with your clients as well the other day. So
this all goes into effect Sunday?
Correct.
Well, the open houses are in effect Sunday, and the office is open on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay, so I'm going to let you get into your next little bit here, and let's
back to my fun stuff,
let's just kind of yeah, exactly. Let's shake it up.
I'm
it's
not
all
used
good
to
stuff.
I'm not used to being the bearer of bad news. I'm used to having people be excited to see me, not like, oh.
Shannon,
So
this is it. We do what we have to do to help
right.
our
I'm a team
folks.
player. I'll do whatever they tell me to do. So, it feels like forever ago now, but, we all came off of the convention in Nashville, all recharged, ready to go, and we just want to make sure it's on everybody's mind if they want to come with us to Vegas, providing everything's going well. You can sign up to get more information from me on the hub. There's a link. We already have like 28 people signed up to go to Vegas. I will push out information there about the bulk ticket sales and other things. This is not a commitment. If you just think you want to hear more about it, I just don't want to have to email the whole company if not everybody's interested in it. I will go ahead and say that we have secured rooms for corporate, and I think I have enough for the bigs. But if you are interested in going and you want to check out the rates, we highly suggest you check rates at Lynx Hotel. They are under $200 a night right now. Usually during convention, it could be $300 and up. So with us not being in a room block, we actually have a lot more flexibility. They're allowing you to cancel up to 3 days before the convention. So I would just, if you think you're interested, you can go ahead and get a jump on that. I'm just throwing that out there. The next slide is really just a reminder about the service that we have for you guys. Because of the COVID, I wanted to share this. And I kind of touched on this a second ago. Everybody is dealing with this differently, not only our coworkers, but our clients. So it's just so important to just kind of think about where people are coming from in the way that they're handling this. But U-Turn is a service that Danny has bought into for us, for all of our health and wellness. And you have it's all accessible on the hub. We have an assigned check-in that you can share with your friends and family. You can search all kinds of topics. It gives you videos to watch, how to handle these kinds of situations, different suggestions. But right now they have this COVID-19 series going on as well. Just all kinds of helpful tips. And so I just wanted to make sure that everybody knew that that was available to you and for you to share with your family and friends as well. The registration, the instructions are there on the slide, but also on the hub. And it even says if you need assistance, there's someone at U-Turn that you can talk to. I will tell you, if you follow them on social media, they're really trying to get some context for younger people because this is affecting so many different people, and this was really geared towards the older or I guess more mature audience. So if you have people that you know, younger in your family, that you could get them to fill out that survey. They're looking for some help with that on their social media pages. But that is all I have right now. Things are still rocking and rolling with some business opportunities coming into the upstate that we've been able to help with through Upstate Alliance. So things are moving, it's just not as fast. But anybody have any questions for me?
Well, I think it's a great thing too to just reiterate this, because what U-Turn, the resources that they provide, it's not just what they were initially tasked to do. So I mean, right now it's really about mental and physical health and wellness. I mean, and that's their mission. So even if just for your informational purposes, is somebody in your life experiencing some of the effects of just what is the ability to spiral out of control from a mental aspect, just hearing all the bad news, it's not that you've got something going on, but there is something going on, and just know that there is a resource, not just for you, but for your friends and family to take advantage of too. So
yeah,
I think one thing too about the mask is, you're not trying to offend anybody, but I think it's just out of respect for others that we wear masks.
completely agree.
just asking eliminates the problem. I mean, just doing these walkthroughs with our buildings, that company that we met with, I knew coming in that he was a mask believer, and I knew I was just going to have to wear it with him. We kept 6 feet apart the whole time, but I wasn't about to insult him or be disrespectful in any way, and it just helped with that one question. I mean, my heart just broke when I heard about that agent. Like, can you just imagine getting out of the car and thinking, oh, this is going to be great, and then being shut down before you can even get in the door because of one simple little thing. So, yeah.
I totally agree. I totally agree. And just a side note, guys, also too, GGAR has resumed in-person classes. They're also as of Wednesday, and they are also requiring everyone wears a mask. There's limited space available, so with everybody in the renewals for your license, know that that's available, but also too that you have to adhere to those guidelines during this time. And also to South Carolina primaries. I'm not going to get political. I'm just going to say that your South Carolina primary election is Tuesday, June 9th. That's next Tuesday. Just saying, go get a sticker. So from operations, and this is something just, and I promise I'm going to be brief because I want to get to market numbers real fast, because I really feel like that's one of the things that you guys can benefit the most from right now. But right now, I'm going to quickly touch on everything else that's happening right now in the company to let you know what we're doing. So from an operations perspective, Team Builder, you guys are all familiar with Team Builder, but right now more than ever, there's a lot of folks in this business that have given themselves 6 weeks of furlough voluntarily. Not you guys that are on this call, but other agents in the industry that need some help. If you know somebody that needs to make a change, or if you know somebody that you think would be a good fit for our company that isn't currently working for our company, please, please, please call me, email me, whatever it might be. I mean, help throw a paper airplane at my head. If there's somebody that's in this business right now that might have either furloughed themselves or is just really struggling with the times that we're dealing with, let's utilize this, because what we want to do is we want to reward you, the agent, for helping us bring the right people into the C. Dan Joyner family. You see all this right here, quarterly bonus, power producer bonus. All you have to do, visit the Team Builder page on the hub and complete that online form. But first, what I would really love and what I would welcome you to do is to talk with me about, hey, here's 2, 3, 4 people that I've really enjoyed doing business with. Have you been in touch with them? And let's just have that conversation. I would really, really, really welcome that, because right now more than ever, it's on us to step up and help the people that are in the business but might not necessarily be in the business right now, or just good folks that deserve what we're trying to give to every one of you. One touch point, and do not gloss over this, CDJ is no longer holding escrow checks. This is something that I cannot stress enough. The closing attorney, if it has not been selected, you can submit the check. If the closing attorney has been selected, you can submit it directly to the attorney's office. That is the ideal situation. However, in the event that you have not selected a closing attorney, you can use Nelson and Galbraith to hold escrow. You don't have to close with them. You just give the check just exactly like normal. Instead of having them write BHHS C. Dan Joyner Realtors, you just write Nelson and Galbraith on the check. Give it to me or your ASC. We'll have it over to Pleasantburg, where Nelson and Galbraith would pick it up. Email a contract. You don't really need to do that, because I'm going to include one with the check that I send over anyways. Just write the property address on the check so we can match it up. That's all I ask. We've had a couple of situations where things haven't gone properly because we've been holding escrow, and there's been a jumble in the communication between them and the closing attorney. So let's just do it, please, because we're not doing it as a company policy. It's not you, it's us. Okay, so blame us in that situation, but just know that ultimately that helps benefit the people that you're representing, your clients. Dan's got a lot of stuff going on, and I'm not trying to breeze through this, but just in the interest of time, I want to help keep this as tight as possible. So this notice from LLR about, our extension of the deadline to September 30th for license renewals. I said this I think it was 2 weeks ago now, but I'm going to reiterate it, and I'm going to say it again, and I'm going to say it again, and I'm going to say it again until the end of June. You may have till September 30th, but your license technically expires June 31st. Let me say that again. They have extended the renewal period to September 30th, but your license still expires June 31st. There's so much online CE classes. They've opened the in-person classes right now. Go ahead and get it done. You got a month. Even if you have to do the self-paced online stuff, get your 10 hours in now, because I would hate to have that happen where you get into a gated community and you're all bopping in for your listing presentation at the Cliffs or wherever it might be, or Montebello or something, and you can't get in the gate, and the guard guy says, "Let me see your real estate license," and you show it to him, and it's going to expire June 31st. I don't want you guys to get left out in the cold or to be in that unfortunate situation. Technically, your license expires June 31st, no matter what LLR says about the extension for renewal periods, okay? Handle it. If you need any help finding options for that, please get with me. I'll help. And as that is being said, so you've got June 3rd's already been passed. June 7th, you've got the opportunity. Well, nobody else on this call needs to know about the BIC duties and responsibilities. However, it is a pretty nice course, even if you are an agent, to take. It's interesting information. It's something to help build your knowledge base. You've got June 24th, all about contracts. That's your 2 hours of elective to help you bridge the gap between 8 hours and 10. That's June 24th, 10 a.m. These are all done through the Western Upstate Association of Realtors, and these have been great. I've done these and gotten through everything that I need online with Diana. It's the best of both worlds. You can also see June 10th, you've got 4 hours of credit. Your core course, you've got the 11th, the 24th, and the 25th. Note those times there. The forms class is something good too. I personally racked up 15 hours this year, but that's just me. And then Code of Ethics, June 25th at 2 p.m., which I believe June 25th is a Friday. But anyhow, note those here. Again, you guys will get all these slides so you can go. But to register for everything, just go to Western Upstate's website and get to the education portion, and you'll be able to just click right through to that virtual live CE class with Diana. If nothing else, you get to hear a couple of her jokes and watch her internet be bad. Again, we've got RE Campus. Again, so GGAR is not doing any of the live in person. Diana's utilizing Western Upstates to do those. It's just easier that way. But then again, here are your self-paced courses that you can jump in on GGAR, sign up, and complete your stuff before June 31st, so we don't have a bad situation, right? The next thing of PATHs is going to start June 9th. That is this coming Tuesday. So remember to vote early before you, if you are going to be on the PATHs course. I don't believe anybody on this call is registered for PATHs, but sometimes it's nice to take it again. I'm going to be auditing at least 4 sessions of this. So if anybody wants a refresher, anybody wants anything else, anybody wants to talk about any of the topics that you see on here that you all remember from PATHs, or if anybody wants to expand on any of these topics, please get with me and I'll do my best to help you guys on a one-on-one or in a small group session. And we've got one session here, the wrap session. That's for your PATHs. That's for your PATHs folks. Again, that's not going to be pertinent for everybody here on the call. So I'll just roll through with that. Again, we've got new stuff that Dan is putting together on a daily basis. I cannot stress how thankful we all are to have the ability to just build an online library of accessible on-demand training, both through webinars, the job aids, the tip of the week, Matthew Thrift's movies on all of the contracts and forms and procedures. There is so much available to you on the hub. I know that that website is it's an intimidating interface. I get it, but there's a reason for that, and it's because there is so much knowledge that is accessible right there. Please utilize that right now, even if you have even if you feel like you don't have any downtime. Instead of listening to Up Next from NPR as a podcast, why don't you click in here and see if there's something here that you might be able to do and take 15, 20 minutes and move the needle forward in your business. Because the steps that we take right now in the next 30 days are going to determine the rest of your year. Print that, tweet that, quote me on it. This is just more of the same, but it's just really driving home. We've got everything available to you at your fingertips, and the only thing that you'll see here, that live classroom multi-streaming training coming soon. What that looks like is that if you are like I am, and you choose to say, for example, complete your CE training with Diana Brothers when it's right there in person live, but also not live via Zoom, just like this meeting is, if that's kind of more your jam, we are going to provide that environment in each and every office on a periodic basis. Now, whether it's myself giving a training session, whether it's Donna, Matthew, Fritzy, Dan, Don, David, Tom, Stephanie, Shannon, like whoever it is, whatever the topic might be, we're all going to be involved with this together. And what we're going to be doing is allowing you to be able to participate in those live, but also record them and allow you to be able to access those on a on-demand basis as well. Just know that that's coming in the next few weeks. A couple of things from Sharon and Agent Services. One, if you have not already seen this, regarding custom email signatures, we've retooled all the email signatures so everything looks professional, put together. You don't have to fumble through trying to copy and paste and do this, that, and the other. Just go down to the request form on the hub. Again, you'll get this in slides. There is a request form on the front page of the hub for you to go and request to have your semi-custom email signature done for you, okay? From a marketing perspective, you know, despite the fact that the world has been pretty funky lately, people are still utilizing the internet at an alarmingly positive rate. 7.7 million AdWorks impressions over the first 5 months of the year, and almost 190,000 website visitors. That's organic 2020 to date. Out of only 773 AdWorks ad placed. That's startling to me. Again, if you're not a data nerd like I am, that's going to not make a whole lot of sense. Just understand that we are still maintaining a very solid digital presence throughout this uncertain time. Again, we live in a review economy. The first thing that you're going to do before you go to a restaurant, you're going to look up what the rating is for this place that you've never been to and figure out if it's actually worth your time to go. I know we're all excited about going out now. This is how you correlate this to our industry. You got 432 surveys that have been sent out, almost one shy of 200. That's a 46% completion rate. I just want you guys to know that out of every 10 reviews that are written online, there's normally about 1,000 consumers that are in front of that business that have the opportunity to write said review. So a 46% completion rate is huge. On top of the fact that our average seller survey, our representation of sellers in this market, 4.94 stars out of 5, 24. I mean, tell me where you can actually get this type of social proof marketing anywhere else. The answer is you can't. Buyer surveys, 4.97. We're at a 40% completion rate, which is even better. It's not as high as the selling side, but honestly, that completion rate for buyers, it's normally somewhere in the 9 to 10% range as far as response ratios. That means that we're doing the service that's necessary to compel that person to give a rating. How many times have you been using an application on your telephone and it has given you the opportunity to rate that application and you have pushed not now or ignore? How many times have you actually taken the time to go out and fill that? Probably your success ratio is about 3%. We're getting almost 4 out of 10 to actually take the time and complete a survey. And as a result, we're 4.97 stars out of 5 for buyer representation. The Lala Point stories, the latest number ones, are available from May 1st all the way through to April 30th. You got 28 different geographic areas covered, 233 total stories, and all the price ranges. So that's all the way, they bump in dollar amount increments, 123 different price range stories. So think outside the box. It's an opportunity for you to be able to then, if, for example, you are in a competing listing presentation situation, think about how you might be able to tell the story to that potential seller of how and why you're number one in that local marketplace, in that price range, in that geographic area. Just dive through it. It's really interesting stuff. And even if you never use it, it helps you have better conversations. Always use it to have better conversations. The more knowledge we've got, the better things that we can share, the more value we can bring to the marketplace, and the more we can represent our clients. Point blank, period. Listing presentation binders. Everybody that has ordered one already, you guys, I have them in my office. If you have not come to pick it up yet, please do so. Just call me and I will make it either available to you if I'm not in the office, or if I am there, then you can just sign for it and take it on with you. But they are very, very, very nice. They're high quality. They are provided to you free of charge. So if you have not done it, please request one, because this is the difference between the almost story and the success story. And again, the template is also available there. We have that hard copy for you to be able to utilize and teach yourself on. But again, the customizable template and the tutorial, essentially how to deliver that presentation. If you want to work more on how to deliver that presentation, if you would like to work more on how to deliver that presentation, I'm right here for you to be able to be a resource for that. But I just want you to know they're right here. You can see here the screenshot of, on the left-hand side, down here in Marketing Center, listing presentations, and it is available in the first folder on the top left, 2020 Home Marketing Presentation. So with that being said, I'm gonna cut to what I want to touch on just briefly right now. And so I know that on Fridays we've done more of a deep dive into what the market is like. And I think that essentially what we've been doing the last 5, 6, 7 weeks is taking a very, very, very broad look at national numbers and then pulling them down into local market data. What I want to do really quickly is just touch on right now, because we're almost through the second quarter of the year. I want to show you guys something pretty interesting for me that stuck out actually yesterday in a conversation, and hopefully I will get you guys out of here before the top of the hour. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you what I felt like was an extremely interesting. So here you have your Greenville sold 13-month trend chart by units. This goes from April of last year to April of this year. Now, yes, April took a humongous hit this year. May is going to have a decent hit, but it's going to be nothing like what you've got all of these other folks that are in the, I call it the talking industry, experts, if you will, economists, writers, whomever, saying that we were going to be heading for a 30% to 40% downturn in April and May in terms of the housing market. Now, yeah, did we drop? Yes, we did, 12.8%, and you'll see it here. But what I want you to really look at is that number here in February and here in April. Now, March is slightly skewed because this was primarily before everything got locked down and the world got turned on its head as we know it. I want you to look at that February number and that April number, because February 2020 for the Greenville MLS was the best February that's ever happened. And now, April 2020, we have surpassed the February number. Now, I know that that just is, that could ring hollow for some of you, but I want you to put those in perspective, that we, despite the fact that we have been told to stay home and socially distance and do everything digitally and essentially relearn the entire business, now in April of 2020, there was a bounce of 80 units over one of the best Februaries that's ever happened in the history of the GGAR MLS. That's an interesting statistic. And now what we'll also look at too, and just stop me if nobody can see this screen, because there's a lot of numbers here. Everybody can see this? Okay, so I want you guys to pay attention to a couple of things, and it's basically at the top half here. So your current active units, 4,814. Current actives at this time last year was 4,935. That's a 2.5% drop in inventory, but a 0% change in the amount of volume that number of listings represents. What does that mean? That means your average price is up again 3% year over year. Yes, the average days on market, that takes into account a very wide swath of price ranges, mind you. But your average days on market for solds includes the stuff that's actually selling in your marketplace. Now, what does that put on you? Is to really dive down deep into what the actual numbers mean on a granular level. For example, 1 million to 1.6 million has taken a pretty decent hit in the last 6 months or so. None of that is related directly to the COVID problem or the lockdown. None of it's directly related, but it is a real fact, and it affects all of the statistics writ large. But what I can show, your solds for January 30th to April 30th, 4,221 units have been sold thus far in GGAR, single family, condo, townhouse, all of it. That it represents a 5% increase year over year from last year. The volume and the average sales price have also increased. Yes, you can say that the average days on market has increased as well, but we're talking an increase from 62 to 63 days. All pendings right now, this is amazing. All pendings right now, you've got, and this is a lagging indicator, right? All the solds, that stuff is old news. It is old news because it's already been done and dusted. What is a better indicator of the health and wellness of our business right now is pending contracts. So you can basically back this out and say, okay, well, look at that. That's interesting. Q1, 4,000, basically 4,000 units. That means roughly 1,000 units per month. As of May 10th, 2020, already pending almost 800 units. And you've got another 370 units pending that had a contract date originally in April. With an average sales price, you look at the average solds, 261,000. Bump it up. Right now, the pendings, your average sales price, $276,000. Now, that is the difference between April and May. Guys, the spring market is just now summer. I'm just going to say that, and it's the truth. Yes, we did take a dip in solds, but it was only 12.4% from last year. I think that's remarkable, and that's a testament to the people that are on this call, the testament to the people that are representing the clients in this industry right now and in this marketplace. This is proof that we're still out there getting it done for the people that we represent. At the end of the day, we don't sell anything. We help people buy and sell things and represent them to the best of our ability. Now, I'm going to share this particular slide with you guys just because this helps have that conversation. How's the market? Because really what they're saying is, has my house dropped in value? And the answer to it, quite frankly, is no. But the delta between is now a good time to sell and actually having a successful transaction, the delta between those two things is you, the professional that needs to be in the conversation to help people buy and sell right now, if that is the thing that they need to do. If they don't, our job is to be there for them and be a human being and be present. But these are the numbers. The great thing about a market is it's a market. It's supply and it's demand. And we are just stewards of said market. We don't affect it. We don't drive it. We definitely help move things along by better marketing tactics, by utilizing the knowledge that we have access to have better conversations with people. We can affect change, but we can't affect supply and demand. With that being said, I'm going to shut up now because I've been talking now for almost 50 minutes. And I know that you guys don't want to hear me babble anymore. So again, there's another one thing, if you guys are interested in it, Keeping Current Matters is a resource that I utilize a lot. And they have a webinar next Tuesday. Tuesday's a busy day. 3 p.m. Eastern time, and it's titled "Summer is the New Spring Market." If you guys are interested in that, I can drop a link into the recap email that will go out after all of this is said and done. But in the meantime, does anybody have any questions, any thoughts, anything else that they wanted to share, or just any conversation? I'm going to open it up for anyone. Not all at once. Okay, Angela, your stuff's going to be at the office, and if nothing else, you guys have a great weekend. I really care for you all, and let me know if there's anything I can do to help.
Thanks, Richard.
Thank you, Alex. See y'all. Have a great weekend.
Thanks.